felt like super empowered to do something specific afterwards. Anyone? Anyway, okay. Because like I watched that minimalism documentary on Netflix, and I was like, I gotta throw away all of my clothes. Like I'm hoarding. I have too much. And then I watched like that documentary that was like Americans throw away too much stuff, and I was like, I gotta keep all my clothes. So you know, I'm really living in between right now. Another movie was I saw I have notes. I saw Annie, and I was like, Mom, I'm an orphan. Like I was convinced. I was like, tomorrow. Like that was me. And then my favorite was after I watched Happy Feet. I was convinced that I was a virtuoso tap dancer, which I am. Thank you. No. But I mean, those are kids' movies. Kids are so impressionable. They're like little meatballs. Okay, of knowledge and like crayons and drawings and such. But right now we're doing all those like kids competition shows. Is everyone okay with this? Like I'm not okay with kids competition shows. Like right now we're gonna have like Kids Survivor, like what happens when the goldfish are gone. And then we're gonna have like, I don't know, Kids Bachelor, like there's gonna be a dandelion ceremony, like, Charles, I picked these for you, get off the island. I don't know how the Bachelor. But one that does exist is Chopped Kids. Has everyone seen this? Chopped Kids? And I feel so bad because these kids are gonna wake up in 35 years and be like, I didn't plate the mashed potatoes, I didn't plate the mashed potatoes, I didn't get them on the plate, and they're just gonna be ruined. Life. And I mean, think about it, this is the biggest day of these kids' lives. The biggest day of these kids' lives. Like, I think the biggest day of my life, like every year, was the last day of school. Like elementary school, last day of school, last week of school. Like I remember 4th grade, I was like, finally, all of my burdens are gonna be released into the summertime. Like what was I worried about as a 4th grader? Like, yes, I'll never have to long divide ever again, which was a lie, by the way, which was a lie. But no, last day of school, last week of school, the ritual, yearbook signing. Oh yes, yearbook signing. I love yearbooks because we learn to lie like adults, like really genuine on the outside, but completely not meaning it on the inside. You learn it young. And some of my favorites are have a great summer, or sometimes abbreviated like HAGS, have a great summer, which really means I care so little about the quality of your summer that I barely even want to spell it out. Like that's a good one. We also got we have to hang out. No, we don't. What's the other one? Stay in touch. I'm not leaving any of my contact information in this book, but stay in touch. Okay, yeah. And then there's always the best one. Never change. Never change. Which means one of two things. Either I don't know whose yearbook this is, or change everything about yourself. Please, by next school year. Thank you. But no, yearbooks are great. Taught me how to lie like an adult. And by the time I got to middle school, by the way, middle school was like a great time for me, and I have friends who get mad at me for saying like I did well in middle school. Like I definitely peaked in middle school. Like I knew what I wanted, I had goals, I achieved them in a timely fashion, I had friends. That was living for me. And then I think I got to like high school and I just like plateaued, like it cut off. And you need to listen, you need to realize that when I say like middle school were the best 2 years of my life, that's a cry for help. So like, I really need this right now.
You got this.
Thank you. And one of my favorite things about middle school, does anyone remember the app AskFM? Does anyone remember that website? Cool, well, if you don't, I'm gonna mansplain it to you right now. Are you ready? So AskFM was this website that if you wanted to ask like the popular kids some questions, you could get on there, like be anonymous. You could ask them anything, and it was always like, Carly, are you having sex? Like that was like the extent of like the questions on AskFM. So I made an AskFM. So I was like, people want to know what I have to say, right? So I logged in, I was really excited. I was like, hey guys, I have an AskFM. I got 0 questions. It's crazy. No one cared. But I got AskFM, so I was like, okay, I got it. I will reverse engineer the system. If people don't want to ask me questions, I will ask them questions, Okay. So I logged on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna send this to like the top 20 popular kids. Like I guess there was a list or something. And I sent it to them and I said, okay, this is like my bright idea. Why do they call it bangs? Like that was the question I was asking. Why do they call it bangs? And I was ready for like some earth-shaking, like ground-moving, like really good explanations for why do they call it bangs. And I sent it around and I got some like, I don't know why they call it bangs. Is it because like if you bang your head, they like cover it up? I don't know. And then I got my favorite response was from Jerome. He's on the football team. If you know Jerome, this is about him. And he said, no one's ever called me bangs. I'm done. Like the way he responded, like it was all online. I was like, I'm hurt by that, and I'm the one that like posed the question. So at the end of the year, I got his yearbook. Jerome, never change. That's all I have for today. Thank you. My name's Kristen. I will be at Hilarity for Charity next Saturday night. I'd love to see you. It's a fundraising event. I'm also in Ad Liberation, which is an improv troupe on campus. We're at AdLib Improv on Twitter. I run the Twitter. Follow us. And follow me on Twitter. I'm at the Kristen98. Thank you so much.
Get that plug. Yes, girl.